Alright, hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at GitHub, GitHub Desktop, and Atom. We're just going to check out some of the really basic fundamentals you absolutely need to know, and maybe why you should use them in the first place. And this MacBook is completely unrelated, but it looks awesome. Anyway, we're not advertising. First thing you want to do, go on github.com, make your profile, like confirm your email, whatever they want to do. Okay, so next, if you go on your profile page, it'll look something like this. First thing, you can add organizations down here, which is extremely useful if, let's say, you want to edit it with a few people, or have you with a few people have access to the same codes or repositories, which we'll get into in a second. Then you should probably use an organization. If you want to really set one up, then probably check out some online GitHub documentation on how to set one up. They aren't that complicated. You can probably figure it out. Okay, so, but let's say you have a solo account here. What do we do? What is a repository? Oh, what is a repository? A repository is a sort of, I would think of it as a project file. So let's look at one here. So we've got this folder right here, and this is my project file. So it is everything that is in this project. That's the way to think of a repository. Repository just sounds really awesome, and when you say it, people are like, wow, this guy knows. They know computers really well. Okay, so when you click new repository in the top right over there, you're going to name your repository whatever you want to name it. Really doesn't matter. Okay, then you've got your description, which is option, just like describe it, name it. Initialize repository with a readme. What does this mean? Effectively, this is a TXT document that's going to be in your repository, so let's look at it here. No, not this one. We're going to be working with rock, paper, scissors. This TXT document is going to randomly initialize. What's the TXT document? It's just some text, right? It like the most basic font you could possibly get. And it's just going to tell people a bit about your program. If you have any licensing, like MIT, Creative Commons. No, okay, Creative Commons, you don't need to add a license, but you can copy paste it into your readme TXT. If you have a license, probably put your credentials, name, contact, whatever you want. Bug-free Skatosh? Skato? What? Okay, yeah, great repository names. If you really need some inspiration, they've got right there. Wow. Bug-free. Okay, anyway, so after you've created your repository, it'll pop up here. So in this case, we're actually going to be looking at a repository in our organization. It doesn't matter, they're going to look the same once you click on them. Okay, so in this case we're going to be looking at this rock, paper, scissors in Python repository. So we've got our description up here. These extra tabs, just ignore them. Maybe use settings. Sometimes if you want to rename it, add collaborators, webhooks, whatever those are. Again, a lot of this is complicated, so we're going to not make it complicated. Okay, so yeah, these are our folders. Now, if you just create a repository, you actually won't have any folders. But how do we get anything, or how do we get folders there other than upload files or create new files? You can upload files if you want. I wouldn't recommend that since it's going to be just, Firstly, you'll want to install GitHub Desktop by searching up GitHub Desktop or desktop.github.com. And you install it. Download for Windows, follow the installation plan. It'll give you a system that looks like this. Okay, so now you're going to want to clone or download your repository, even if it's empty. I don't care. Open in desktop. This means open in GitHub desktop, by the way. That's why desktop is capitalized. Okay, so what it'll do is it'll open it over here. As you see, we already have it open, but if you have multiple repositories, they will be up there. If you want to switch to like this, oh, we've actually got a pull origin for this one, for example, or rock, paper, scissors. Okay, so since we're dealing with this one right now, what just happened though when you download it? It's really important that you understand this. A file was created wherever your GitHub file is, which you need to be able to locate. Guys, you absolutely have to have organized folders for this. If you don't, you need to clean them up. It's gonna be a nightmare if you don't. Just please do for your own sake. Okay, so what it just did is it created a new file when we did open in GitHub desktop. So when we cloned that repository, it actually made a new folder on my desktop in the GitHub folder with all the current files there. Now, if your repository was empty, it's not gonna have any files now, is it? Okay, so I want to add a file. You know what? I want to add this Python file, which we're gonna Control X, right? And I really want to add a Python file that's definitely not here. And we're gonna paste it in. Yeah, we paste it in here from wherever. Like, you can grab it somewhere else on your hard drive. Make sure it is probably whatever programming language you're typing in. So .py, .txt, .html, .css, .js. I don't know some of the other ones. Is it Java? Is it .java? Who knows? Let's search those up. Point is, in here you get your folders, you add them. So once you've added them in GitHub desktop, there will appear changed files, okay? And over here it'll show you what was changed in a similar way to this. So it'll look something like that. With the red being what you deleted and the green being what you added. It might not show all the lines of the file since it's only going to show the modified ones. Okay, so next you've got your summary, description, commit to master. Okay, pretty simple. What does all this mean though? Let's first look at commit and summary, since we've got a really good example for this. Please make them direct. For your own sake, you're going to want to make the summaries and the description direct, informative, and not time consuming. Do you see this one? So 3 days ago, we had a group member have the summary of yeah. Can you tell what they changed about the file from that? I can't. I don't think anyone can. Since it doesn't give us any description to actually find out what he changed. I would have to go into the history of the file and look over every line that he changed. But this isn't informative. Say this one, added an information txt. Again, not perfect grammar, you just need it there to make sense to humans and have the information. So I added a txt that had information in it. Probably this one right here. Or changed files back to py. Change the tx file to a py file, as you see in the description below. So the description pops up right below the title, or right below the summary once you hover over it. Summary, description. I would recommend when you're doing descriptions, don't go over 3 lines worth of descriptions, okay? I mean, you can max out these lines, but try to keep them under 3 so that when you're coming back to it a few months down the road, you have the time and ability to understand what the potatoes is happening. There's the basics of it. Okay, so yeah, that'll be how we use GitHub desktop. Oh yeah, push pull origin. This just refreshes. Double checks if your files are the same as GitHub servers files. If you change anything, this will change to push origin, which means you're changing GitHub servers instead. Okay. Pull origin means GitHub servers were updated and your files weren't, so you're going to change your files based on the current ones at GitHub. Pull origin looks like this. Yeah, pull origin. So clearly right now someone did an update on my repositories, and my folders on my computer aren't the same as the updated ones. Okay, so next we've got Atom, which is a seriously overkill name for this editor. Atom editor. Yeah, so you're gonna search up Atom editor. There you go. You're gonna download it. You know, hackable. What does that even mean? Hackable. I really don't get it. So Atom is really confusing. Before, just think of it as before it was so simple. Atom, you're gonna have to go through documentation. What is the basics of it though? It allows you to easily edit the folders in your file. So right now, we're actually working on a repository, New Acumen's site. I think the name is a bit different online, or I haven't uploaded it yet. The idea being we have all the files here and we can see them, we can edit them, we can save them. This in this case is a site, and why would we even do this? Well, since it's really helpful. Microsoft Visual Studio is another alternative to this, by the way. We can actually see our repositories. Right now this one isn't connected to our repository, but if I wanted to I could connect it, and effectively this cuts GitHub Desktop out of the thing, or everything, but still have it. Yeah, this one you're gonna have to look up a bunch of tutorials for. It's very useful for site development, particularly with this tree over here. And oh yeah, here's the cool feature. Let's see if we have time. Yeah, we've got time to show you this amazing feature. Yes. Okay, check this out. So this is a site I'm currently working on. Clearly has some issues right now, but nevertheless currently being worked on. Where is it being worked on? Right here. So this is what's absolutely amazing about what I'm currently doing. This is a live server, by the way, from port 3000. You're going to have to find out how to do that. It's really a hassle. But it has live updating, so check this out. Where do we have it? I don't even know where the scroll bar is. Okay, so learn web development, that H1. We're going to add a bunch of ones here, and we're going to Control S. Save. Automatically live updates the site. That's how awesome it is. Alright, so it's particularly useful if you've got web development on, or web development going, and you need your site to update like instantly. This is so helpful for that. Not to mention we can connect it to our CSS and name it, so I think our style sheet name, yeah, main CSS. We don't have to like find a link online for it, though I would still recommend most images be hosted somewhere else. I mean, you could host them yourself, but if Imager has one, it's easier there. Yeah, so that's just an amazing feature, especially if you're a web developer. It's got a ton of other useful integrations for any sort of program. This just saying, you don't have to write HTML or CSS. You can write Python, Java, like whatever, really, actually, whatever programming language you want. However, you probably will have to have it installed. Just double check some basic documentation for that. Alright, I hope this video sort of helped understand these, and good luck using GitHub.